Hey Ravens, I'm Mrs. Mundell and this is Mrs. Arguello, and we're here to talk about the 21st Century Scholars Program. Now, it has been a mission of mine to get these 7th and 8th graders to apply for this scholarship, and I recently found out that Mrs. Arguello is herself a 21st Century Scholar. So, we're here to talk about it, and maybe she can clear some questions up if any of you guys have any further questions. So, what is the 21st Century Scholars Program, Mrs. Arguello?
The 21st Century Scholars Program is essentially a scholarship program that you apply for in middle school that will pay for all of your college tuition when the time comes for you to graduate high school and go to college. The way you qualify is by simply applying now with your parents, and it's all based on your parents' income and how many people are in your family. So that'll be something that you'd have to take a look at with your parents, but that's it.
So how do you apply, though?
Well, Mrs. Mundell has been hunting people down to give them scholarship applications. I remember at student-led conferences, you and I both were kind of looking and talking to different families and students to try and get them to fill out the application. You just fill out the application with your parents and turn it into Mrs. Mundell.
Guys, it's literally a one-page sheet, front and back, that you have to fill out and give it to me, and I'll put it in the computer. You've applied. Okay, so what do you have to initially do to get it?
Just apply. That's it. Once you apply and turn it into you, Mrs. Mundell, that's it. And then from there, essentially, you just need to make sure that your grades are good. Like here at ICMS, you have to have A's, B's, and C's. It's the same thing for the 21st Century Program. You have to have A's, B's, and C's all through high school. If you get D's and F's, you could be at risk of losing your scholarship.
Is there anything else that you have to do to keep a scholarship besides keeping your grades up?
Well, you can't get into any trouble. The older we get, the more freedom we have to make our own choices. And those can be good choices, or those can be not so good choices. And those not so good choices can sometimes lead to bigger problems, like with the law, for example, or getting kicked out of school, anything along those lines that could put you at risk for losing your free college money or your scholarship.
Okay, so that brings me to a good point. What was the hardest part of being a 21st Century Scholar?
Well, I think the hardest part is also kind of one of the best parts, because when we get to high school, sometimes we're going to have friends or know people that pressure us to make really bad decisions. And with the 21st Century Scholars Program, you already have your guaranteed scholarship for college. And so all you have to say is, I can't do that, or I could lose my scholarship for college. Even when you're in college, sometimes people are going to pressure you to make bad decisions or the wrong decision. And all you have to say is, I've got a scholarship, I can't lose it. So, yeah, it's a really great reason.
Okay, did you ever think that you might lose your scholarship?
Well, there are always times that come up that you think, am I going to make a wrong decision? Luckily, I never did, because I knew what was at risk. I knew I wasn't going to be able to go to college without that money, and college was so important to me to be able to provide for myself and my family. So, yeah, I knew what was at risk, and so no.
Awesome. Good to hear that. What would you say to someone who is thinking about applying for the scholarship, but they don't know for sure if they even want to go to college yet?
Well, actually, there's a couple of students in my own advisory, and we've already had this conversation that they don't think college is for them because they have other interests. And my thing is, well, 5 years is a long time away. It seems so long anyway. That go ahead and apply. That way you can make sure that you have the option if you change your mind. Right. Because you maybe don't want to go to a four-year school, but maybe you want to go to a trade school here and, become a mechanic or something along those lines. And you could potentially use your 21st Century Scholar money for that as well.
Right. So it's not going to hurt you to apply now and have it.
Just in case you change your mind later on.
Yeah. Okay. So how has it affected your life since you've graduated with your degree?
Well, it's affected my life in many ways. During college, I was able to just have a small on-campus job because everything was paid for, so I wasn't struggling to try and pay for college at the same time while I was trying to focus on my grades. I was able to study abroad and teach abroad, which in turn led to finding a great job here at ICMS in Indianapolis and getting to follow my dreams here to live in Indy that I've had most of my life.
Wow. That's powerful.
It is so powerful. I might also add, because this is important, that I have 2 younger siblings, one who just graduated from IU last year and is a 21st Century Scholar, and I have a brother who is a senior going to Purdue in the fall, and he is also a 21st Century Scholar. So it's impacted my family in huge ways.
That's amazing. So, do you have any tips for someone who's got the scholarship and is kind of waiting for everything to happen?
Yeah, so the great thing about the 21st Century Scholar program is that it has been around for a long time now, at least 20 years plus. And the thing is, they provide a lot of assistance for you as you're moving up and going to 9th and 10th grade. They have college visits that they'll provide you with. When it comes time to take your SATs, there's help that you can get to pay for the SATs because that's the test that you have to take to go to college.
Yeah.
When you apply for college, they will start having local nights, how you had the 21st Century Night event to where parents could also go and get questions answered. They will have nights to help you fill out your financial aid, your scholarships. They will also help you pay for your college applications because you have to pay for those. And so they will also help with that. So there is a lot of assistance out there.
Yeah, that's so helpful because all that money adds up, guys. So, last question. Second to last question. What was your favorite part of college?
I think my favorite part of college was getting to go, and I'm a very independent person anyway, and getting to take classes and do things that interest me. Like I mentioned, the studying abroad and going abroad, things that I never would have dreamt of doing without going to college. So it was really great. And I also got to meet a lot of new people and, try new foods and experience new cultures. It was great.
Yeah. And lastly, what do you love the most about working at Irvington Community Middle School?
I would definitely have to say Mr. Stolberg because he said so. Other than that, my kids. I love my students, and they're the reason I come here every day, and they're just enjoyable most days.
And you want to see them succeed and go to college.
Absolutely.
For free.
Yes.
So, apply for the scholarship, guys, and if you have any questions, please reach out and ask me.
Do it.